Hey guys! So, remember when I said in my last video I was going to try and update every week? Well, obviously that didn't actually work out. You know how it is, life gets in the way, and I've got a few big things coming up. I'm participating in NaNoWriMo this year, which, if you guys don't know, that is National Novel Writing Month. So basically the goal is to write a 10,000 word novel in the 30 days of November. This is my first time participating. Obviously, I can't let that get in the way of everything else I have to do, so I probably won't finish it, but I've got a pretty good head start, and it started yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. I'll keep updates on that on social media and in these videos. So I just want to keep this short and sweet and talk about some of the books that I read this past month and the books that I plan on reading this month. First book I want to talk to you about that I read for school is 1984 by George Orwell, and you may remember I mentioned this in my banned books video and I said I hadn't read it yet. Well, I read it for school this past month, and I actually really liked it. It was a little bit different than I think what a lot of people were expecting, and I really liked the bleakness of it. I think that was a problem a lot of people in my class had with it. So for those of you who haven't read the book, like me, 2 weeks ago, this is set in a dystopian world in 1984, hence the title. It was written in 1948, so 1948, 1984, you get it. Anyway, so the main character, Winston, is under constant surveillance. You have no free will and there's no individuality, and you are under constant surveillance by the government. So what Winston ends up doing is he starts writing in a diary, which is strictly forbidden because that is an act of doublethink in the eyes of Big Brother and the government. And he ends up kind of rebelling in his own small ways. And what you'll see, like, what's really different about this, as opposed to books like The Hunger Games or something like that, which is, you know, a more recent example of a popular dystopian novel, is that he doesn't actually actively rebel against the government, but overall, I did enjoy the book. I didn't like Winston as a character. I think that was my only main problem with it. Like the other supporting characters, like Julia, who's his lover, I guess you could say, she's underdeveloped, but she's actually a more interesting character than he is, and so I kind of wanted to see what happened to her, or see part of the book from her perspective. And the book that I'm currently reading for class is Watchmen by Alan Moore. I have heard nothing but rave reviews for this graphic novel for a long time, but I'd never gotten around to reading it. I don't think I've ever actually read a graphic novel before, so this will be a first for me, novel genre, so I'm pretty interested in delving into this. I also have here V for Vendetta by the same author. We're watching the film rather than reading the novel for class. But yeah, right now my plan is to read both of those books and post a review of both of them by the end of the month. Lastly, I want to talk about a book that I meant to mention in my last video, but kind of forgot about it, and I don't know why, because I love this book, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a gothic novel. In many ways, it's kind of like a spin-off on Jane Eyre. There's a lot of similarities in the story. Basically, it's this young girl who meets this wealthy older man. He lives in a very prestigious old house in England, and she ends up getting married to him and moving in, and there's all these dark secrets about the house, in particular about Maxim de Winter, the lead character, who's never given a name, her husband, and it's to do with his first wife, Rebecca, who, even though her literal ghost is not haunting the living, sort of her figurative ghost, the memory of her, is alive and well at Manderley. Also, I think du Maurier's prose is just absolutely beautiful. There's so many beautiful lines. Again, it's kind of reminiscent of Jane Eyre in that sense, of just being so poetic and beautifully written. But the first line of the novel is actually one of the most iconic lines, I think, in all of literature. Last night, I dreamt I went to Manderley again. So there you have it. That's my recommendations for this fall so far. I will try and update within the next couple of weeks with more information about NaNoWriMo and how I'm progressing on that, or not, but hopefully, and also with reviews of Watchmen V for Vendetta, and I'm hoping to do a song cover sometime in the near future. I've got a couple of things planned, so stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Bye!